War of the Kingdoms start here. While T'Challa has sought to grow his power, so too have the forces of Moon Knight, and with the access to a unique resource, Ra and Khonshu are stronger than ever. How will Wakanda stand in its resistance against the kings of the upper and lower kingdoms? And is T'Challa prepared to bear the consequences of tapping into such dangerous wells of power? Ultimate Black Panther Volume 1, Issue 7. A diabolical genius known as the Maker created his ideal Earth by systematically preventing anyone from ever becoming a superhero. To rule his perfected Earth, he played supervillains in charge of different regions, and together the Maker's Council quietly orchestrated the history of the world. Among them are Ra and Khonshu, who oversee Africa, all but the impenetrable, isolated kingdom of Wakanda. But when Ra and Khonshu planted an assassin within Wakanda's borders, King T'Challa was forced to send the kingdom into war. The war has raged for months now. Worse still, Ra and Khonshu have empowered their armies with a mysterious green element that can accelerate the growth of life uncontrollably. Black Panther and his confidants must find a way to control this unstable element and to slow the spread of Ra and Khonshu's dangerous influence across the continent. In West Africa, Black Panther faces a glimpse of the forces of Ra and Khonshu. Black Panther thinks to himself, "What condemns Africa? These are all my people. I was born to protect them. Yet they aim war at me because they think they're serving a god. I will not take their lives, but I will show them how a king can challenge a god." As Black Panther dodges all the swords coming his way, the Black Panther has stored energy in his suit, and he releases the wave of power. It won't kill them, but it will stop them, taking these soldiers out of the picture. Black Panther thinks to himself, "What kind of king is at war with the people we should be protecting? And it's my fault." As more Moon Knight soldiers arrive, this time he radios Storm and Killmonger saying, "Pacify them," but no one dies. Killmonger arrives on his tread glider, firing his sonics, blasting deafening sound at Ra and Khonshu's soldiers. Then Storm swoops in, wiping up in the wind and lifting them all off the ground. Moments later, we see them lying unconscious on the ground. Black Panther thinks to himself, "Father, I am commanding powers against the people I am meant to protect, and I have failed you and them." Killmonger says from the tread glider, "It's gods and kings now, it seems." Black Panther responds, "It's been months of this. The war needs to end. We need to find the heart of their power, their weakness, and then kings destroy gods." As all the soldiers are laid out, Storm descends from the skies and says to Black Panther, "You are kinder than your enemy. I hope you don't come to regret that." Black Panther replies, "I will not kill. Wakanda is meant to protect." Storm responds, "I imagine your enemies know that." Black Panther says, "There is cruelty in you, Aurora. Where did it come from?" Aurora replies, "You grew up in Wakanda. I grew up in a world outside of it. His mercy could very well be his downfall." Black Panther speaking to Matron Imala of the Vodu-Khan, who says, "Would you agree that it takes a special kind of madness to pretend to be a god? Anyone who does is courting danger, righteous or not. Ra and Khonshu want war and the suffering it causes. I will not give it to them." Black Panther was explaining to Matron Imala at Wakanda in the Garden of Bass, with a large statue of Bass overlooking them. Black Panther says Africa will not be torn between two kingdoms. Matron Imala responds, "But it already is. You cannot stop this war. You can only master how it ends." Black Panther then says, "And what do you suggest? That I march on their kingdom with the Dora Milaje, kill the people who serve them, watch my people die, and take solace in their graves?" Matrone Imala replies, "Yes, you do not want to see your people die. That is admirable, but that is not your choice. It is theirs." Black Panther responds, "They serve Wakanda. Wakanda serves them. This war won't end with an army. It ends with we understand the source of our enemy's power." Black Panther says, "I think you're not sharing what you know, Imala. The Voodoo-Khan has perspective on this. Do not make me seek it." Imala replies, "You want certainty. The Voodoo-Khan embraces fate. There is a difference between the two." T'Challa says, "Matron, you yourself told me about the substance, this element. It can harness their psychic power, break the laws of physics. Vibranium responds to it, but this element affects life itself." Matron Imala says, "So much science, my king, in faith. There are more possibilities. This is the secret of the gods. What if vibranium was more than just metal? Matroni Mala says, what if it had a conscience, a will of its own? What if it came from the vast cosmos, alive like a seed? What if it's beyond science itself? What if this living substance was carefully to hide its will, but its will was always working? Are you certain that Wakanda controls vibranium, or does Wakanda serve it? In a kingdom it gave our ancestors the vision to build. We have become dependent upon it in a symbiosis, powerful in its grace. It's vibranium, a living entity. That's the question. Does it have a conscience, a will of its own? Does Wakanda control vibranium, or does Wakanda serve vibranium? Black Panther and Okoye discuss the Vodu-Khan's theory about vibranium being alive. Okoye asks, is that even possible, T'Challa? T'Challa replies, I am the king of Wakanda. I am not the master of possibility. And more questions arise. What of the element of Ra and Khonshu have acquired? Black Panther says to Okoye, vibranium may have its opposite, its descendant or its forbearer, but Khonshu understands in a way I do not. In his hands, it can transform, enhance life, and most likely destroy it. Black Panther then continues, but my mind is imprisoned by logic and reason. Imala is right. I need to think like a god to defeat a god. Black Panther goes to the chamber and tells Eric and Okoye, I need you to seek someone out, someone who's both a mystic and a scientist. Find them in the world and bring them to Wakanda. I don't have a name. He continues, chase whispers, hunt rumors, and return with someone who is no stranger to mysteries. They will be treated well here as they help us understand the nature of all this. They are looking for the Sorcerer Supreme. Eric Killmonger replies, is this an order or a request? Because though I reside here, I do not kneel to you. Killmonger, fluent in the ways of the outside world as Black Panther makes his request. He also wants to send Okoye because she brings the discipline of the Dora Milaje. Storm says, I will go with Eric. His conscience will be my responsibility. Black Panther replies, fine, but do not harm to any innocents. We have a kingdom growing around us that bends to the people of Africa to its will. They have turned from Wakanda to a new prophet and its new belief. I will remain to remind gods of their fragility, and it begins tonight. Aurora, before you and Eric embark on your quest, please join me on the battlefield. Ra and Khonshu has imprisoned people, and Black Panther brings Killmonger and Storm to help him free them. The guards of the Moon Knight lead the imprisoned Africans to the scorching sun. As one of the guards spots something in the distance, he shouts, look! They see Black Panther and immediately open fire. With swift precision, Black Panther leaps high into the air, propelled by immense force ready to strike. Black Panther says, Aurora, give me the storm. As Storm unleashes bolts of lightning, they strike Black Panther, charging him up with electricity surging through his body. Lightning flashes around him, empowering him, and he moves with incredible speed, faster than ever before. In a matter of seconds, every single one of the guards is taken down. With lightning-fast Panther skills, he kicks, punches, and strikes them, moving with electrifying speed. Each guard falls swiftly under his precise and powerful attacks. The Black Panther stands tall over the fallen soldiers and says to the prisoners, name the one who set you free. One man replies, the Black Panther. Then T'Challa says, say it again, loud enough for all of Africa. They scream louder and louder, Black Panther, Black Panther, Black Panther. Khonshu has been performing acts like healing sick boys and attacking corporate refineries to build the name of Khonshu. But now the Black Panther has freed prisoners from Ra and Khonshu, and they shout his name, Black Panther. The Black Panther frees each of the prisoners and says, Moon Knight, what does he promise you? A villager replies, he says soon there will be no place here where he cannot see. The Black Panther responds, so be it. Let him see this. He and Storm release their energy into the sky with lightning cracking from all of Africa to witness. Ra looks upon the lightning and says, I suspect that is the cry of Wakanda. Khonshu replies, it must be. He has a kingdom built on a sleeping power, and it will awaken. The cry of Wakanda will turn to a scream. The mysterious green aura and the Khonshu possesses contrast with the vibranium that Wakanda has. Next, Ultimate Black Panther Volume 1, Issue 8.